So I'm putting together this Shorty video of the week of the county fair, and I thought now that it's kind of over to shoot an intro. Nothing like being prepared, right? So as you can see, I'm over here. I'm soaking Sally's sore foot and letting the donkeys eat. She's not wanting to walk on it much, so they're kind of standing over here where the grass is tender. So I've been bringing them food and soaking her foot every night. But I thought I would do a little bit of an introduction about why I'm an advocate for participating in your county fair. You know, the first and most obvious reason is it supports your local agricultural community. Even if it's the crafting stuff, that's the Extension Homemakers Club, and a lot of these little hometown Extension Homemakers Clubs are kind of going the way of the dodo. You know, a lot of them, the people, they're mostly older people in some cases, and they're kind of dying off. So I think it's important to support bringing new people into those. Although I'm not a member of one, I don't even really know how to go about becoming a member of one. I would like to be a member of one and participate in that way. But the main thing is supporting those clubs and supporting the agricultural aspect of your local area. Even if you live in an urban area, your food comes from somewhere. And supporting the local farmers, especially, you know, in the current environment, is really important because, you know, farming is never the easiest of jobs. And every day farmers, whether they're crop farmers or livestock farmers, face increasing pressures from factory farming. You know, because we just can't compete with that. You know, it's hard to explain to someone. Oh, I've got roosters in the back of my truck too. I went to see the chicken man, but he was not home. So I left the roosters in the back. I'm going to go back over there in a little while and see if I can catch him. You know, yes, you can go to Walmart or some other big retailer and you can buy a dozen eggs for 99 cents. And I know that's what some people, that's all they can do, and I totally understand that. So like I was saying, sorry I got interrupted there. So like I was saying, any day of the week you can go and buy cheap food. You can buy cheap eggs, you can buy cheaper meat than you can buy from your local farmer. And this is true. And I realize that, you know, some people, that's what their budget allows. And I'm not condemning those people. I think that if that's what you've got to do, and I've done that, you know, I love a deal. But if you can afford to buy local, I promise you the taste and the quality and the nutrition of the food will be worth the extra price that you pay. That being said, you know, even just an attaboy or an attagirl for those farmers by going to the fair and oohing and awing over their animals or their crops, you know, makes a difference. You know, I think about the movie Mrs. Miniver, and toward the end of that movie, there's a rose show, and how excited that elderly man was to win that rose. And then, you know, spoiler alert, I think he dies in a bombing raid after that. You know, to have worked all year, whether you're a 4-H kid, to have worked all year, you're a big kid like me, or you're an older person and that's what you do for your fun, to have worked all year and to take that animal to the fair, and to be acknowledged, or to take that quilt that you've quilted, or those preserves that you've canned, or the flowers that you've grown to the fair, and be acknowledged for those is, you know, a big deal. And I'm also a big advocate of the kids being involved in 4-H. That's another thing about the fair that I think is really important, because, you know, those kids they don't just go and show their animals. They have to take care of them every day. They have to help clean the barns. They have to go up early and help clean up the fairgrounds. They have to know their stuff. You know, they have to know about that animal. They have to have documented what they've done to care for that animal. You know, then there's the displays. I took a few pictures of those that I'll include in this video. There's the There's the club displays that they're all responsible for putting together, and they compete on an educational level too. So they want to share what they know, which I think is really important. But to see how hard these kids work, you know, and in some cases for animals that they know are going to be sold in the market sale and that will be butchered. You know, it's not an easy choice to do those things, and you know, and it's not easy to go and pour your heart and soul into an animal and not win a blue ribbon, you know, but that it teaches them about life. It teaches them responsibility. It teaches them stewardship of these lives. It teaches them, you know, discipline, and it teaches them community. It teaches them to help one another. You know, I was very heartwarmed to see how many of the kids would reach out and help the younger ones, or help me as an open show competitor, or offer to help, you know, with the show, moving stuff around or cleaning up, you know, and that's really important, and that's something that you need to instill in people from a young age. And so I think 4-H is a great way to do that. You know, a more esoteric reason that I think it's important for me to do the fair is it's part of the wheel of the year. To me, it's the culmination of the farming year. You know, we start in the spring with the chicks or the baby rabbits or the livestock, or making the crafts or canning the preserves, and you work on that. And it's the period at the end of the sentence, I guess, or the last page of the book, you know. So I can't put a better way than that. To me, it's showing myself that I am an all-around farmer, that I can be competitive with livestock and in canning and in growing vegetables and in making, you know. To me, that goes to speaking to preserving those heritage skills, and that's a big deal to me, y'all. You know, that ties me to this bloodline of people who have raised these animals and cared for the land and cared for the, you know, raised plants and vegetables and preserved and made do and mend, as the Wartime Farm series talks about. Or for, you know, generations back, people took care of stuff, you know, and enjoyed taking it to, you know, a fair of some sort, or a year-end harvest festival, and being acknowledged for the good work that they had done. So it's important to me to be a part of that also, on a personal level, on a spiritual level, as a farming woman, as an agricultural person, as a, you know, an earthbound, land-tied person. You know, it's a big deal to me to be able to participate in that. So yeah, that's kind of those are my thoughts. So in the upcoming little video clips, you're going to see some photographs and you're going to see some video clips, and I interviewed a couple of people. And so this is County Fair 2018. Well, here goes nothing. Several months worth of work loaded in the trunk of the car. I ended up scratching my little vest because I noticed a pretty glaring mistake on it. So I didn't get a chance to fix it, and I didn't want to enter it knowing that I knew there was a mistake on it. So anyway, we're headed up to check in our home ec entries and go to the rabbit show check-in. I'm at the fair. I've already got my craft entries done, and I'm just out here at my car tagging my canning goods just so I wouldn't be in the way in there, and then we'll go over to rabbit check-in. Well, I've got all my home ec and my canning goods entered, and it's still an hour before the rabbit show check-in, so I'm gonna go look at craft supplies because, you know, I don't have enough. Maybe I might have something I need. So anyway, that's where I'm headed, and we'll check back in with y'all in a little bit. Well, the rabbits are all checked in. It turns out I can only do 10 classes. I thought I misread the rules, so I had 11 entered, so I had to scratch one. So I have a mini Rex female that's probably would get DQ'd because of her weight, so I scratched her. So I got the rabbits checked in. My tattoos don't look like they took, so Sharpie it is, I guess. So I'll have to hunt up my Sharpies tomorrow morning. In the morning, I've got to bring my horticulture entry, so I'm going to come up here first thing and do that, and then that'll give me most of the morning and a little bit of the early afternoon to do the Sharpie on the rabbits and get up here and get settled. The kids show starts at 1, and then we show after the kids. So probably be 8:30 or 9 o'clock, so I'm not going to get in a rush about getting up here. Anyway, yay! Well, here are my horticultural entries for the fair. You have to enter a different quantity for different things. So like apples, you have to enter 3. These are the large hot peppers, so those I think are 3. My small hot peppers are in here. You have to do 6 of those, 3 okra pods, 12 of these little cherry tomatoes, and then 4 eggs. But I always take extra of everything, especially the eggs in case they break. And then my gourd. What the judge, I think, looks for is consistency of size. So like for my eggs, this egg, I don't want to put it in probably unless I have to, because it's quite a bit bigger than the rest of them. The rest of them are fairly consistent in size. The same thing with my apples. I tried to pick 3 that were fairly consistent in size. So yeah, I'm headed up to the fairgrounds to drop these off. Well, as you can tell from the noise, we have made it to the rabbit show. They're on mini lots. That's where they're at. They're working their way through the alphabet. Anyway, so I thought I would walk around and show y'all what's going on. So here's my crew all settled in. Big livestock is already here. They have to be here by tomorrow. Piggies are here. I think the pig show is it's tonight. Thursday night.
Getting ready. All mini Rex. All mini Rex.
Ain't very many, Two junior. Oh,
Let me see this one. Let me see this. Aaron. Sit your butt through your nose. See your nose. See your nose. Rest in your nose.
so they didn't get
Conked out, huh? It's been a long day.
Okay, this is my friend Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hey.
Jason and his wife Lisa are good friends of mine, and their kids do 4-H, so we're going to ask Jason some questions.
Hi, Jason.
Hey.
So, did you do 4-H when you were a kid?
Never did. I wish I did something like this growing up. I just wish I got to participate. Starting out in life, I grew up in a city, and then my mom had the good sense to get us into the country. And we've been there ever since, pretty much. So.
Cool. Okay. So, why do you've got 3 kids involved in 4-H, right? Tell us their names and ages.
So we got Aaron, who's our oldest at 9, and then we got Hunter, who's 8, and then we have Willow, who's 6, and it's her second year doing anything.
So, what all do they show?
All right, so we have, our farm is like, basically we call it the funny farm. We have rabbits, chickens, lots of different breeds and all those varieties.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
We have the goats. We have the goats, and then we have several guineas,
Turkeys.
country and turkeys. Yeah, live in the country. We got them mainly just to keep bugs and stuff out of the yard, and and now you can show them too.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's our first year with a bottle calf this year.
Oh,
so,
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's very good. Awesome. So, what do you think is the #1 benefit your kids get from being involved in 4-H?
Probably responsibility right now. Just they have to care for their animals. Some of my kids, like Aaron and Hunter, they've been doing their breeds of rabbits. Like Aaron likes his tans, very good running breed. He has several different iterations. I think he's on his 3rd generation back at the house. So
Cool.
he's able to pick out which breeds are the best. Genetic selection here, and
Cool. So he's doing some science.
he is. Yes,
Science.
we got good science there, and all of that way. So the chickens are the same thing. It's a harsh reality. Some of them don't make the cut. We were kind of the
And they go in the freezer.
yeah.
They
Which
don't
ones
make
are the
cut.
best? The fittest ones will live. Kind of the Darwin's theory here. We don't do
Yeah.
antibiotics, things like that. So we hope that they survive for the
Yeah.
and
Well,
make
that's
it.
part of living on a farm, though. When you raise meat animals,
yeah.
you raise meat animals.
That's true. Yeah. And the weirdest thing is we started out this year with 12 turkeys, and we didn't have any babies survive.
Oh.
So we just had our standard male and female.
Well, turkeys are born looking for a way to die, though.
I know. People always joke that they can look up the sky and drown
Yeah,
when it's
yeah.
in a rainstorm. So
Turkeys are born looking for a way to die. So let's see. What things in the future would your kids like to participate in as far as 4-H is concerned?
So Aaron's already shown an interest in STEM, and so
Yay!
but a lot of our kids in the whole county. So I'm coming from a computer science background, and I'm doing computer science for my daily living, and then do this. And there's so many opportunities to join these two together, and
Yeah.
our county could take advantage of that. When the 4-H and animals and science combined,
Got
it's so
some
fun.
sciencey people in this
Yes, we
county.
do. Yes, we do.
So, what about Willow? What's she looking forward to maybe trying out?
Man, she's been really interested in horse. So when I grew up, my dad got real big into quarter horses right as I was about to leave for college, and he played around with those. And I wish I got to play with horses and stuff. And now we still have a few left on the farm that she's claiming back
Yeah.
at Grandma's house.
Yeah.
But she is really wanting to take an interest in riding skills
Well,
and things like that.
maybe we can help her out with that over my way. I think we might be able
That'd
to
be
hook
awesome.
her up. So, I appreciate you taking
Yeah.
time, Jason. Thanks a bunch. Well, we're all done with the open rabbit show at the county fair, and wow, those lights are weird. There you go. And I did pretty well. I got a couple of firsts, several seconds, a couple of thirds. In a really big Netherland class, one of my rabbits got a 3rd and then a 10th. Mine are blowing their coats and they don't look their best right now, but Even still, I got best of opposite breed, or opposite sex rather, with one of my rabbits, with my mini Rex. So I was really proud of that. So learned some things from the judge. She was very helpful. She's actually a student over in Oklahoma, and she's a judge now, and learned some things from her, and we're going to put those into practice and try to do better next year. Well, I am headed in to take my cut flower entries, and I just unloaded my chickens and moved my car because they have places for trailers and stuff to park, but if you're just coming in for the day, they ask you to park across the road at the riding club arena. So today is the chicken show. Open poultry goes first on this one, so I will be at 12 o'clock. And there's not that many open showers, so I anticipate being done and loaded up by 12:30, which is fine. My cut flower entries are not the best I've ever put in. My poor phlox looks pretty beat up, and my box didn't keep my vases upright, so some of them turned over in the car. So, but that's okay. It's all about the try, right? So I'm going to take my cut flower entries over and enter those, and then get settled in to get ready to wait on the chicken show to start. Well, I walked right in, got my cut flowers. I didn't end up entering my poor crepe myrtle because it looked terrible by the time I got it up here. So everything else went in. It's not the best I've ever done, but oh well. So now we're waiting on the chicken show. I'll walk through the barns, and more of the cattle and the goats are here today. Bath down there. Oh, they've got theirs decorated up pretty. Look how nice that looks. Everybody's standing around waiting their turn. Somebody's getting them a drink. Taking a nap. They're smart. Taking a nap. Everybody's resting. I guess these are the meat goats over here. Take a video of you milking the goat. Put it on my farm channel. So what kind of goats are they? Alpine. Okay. Milk goat. Good job. So these are all yours?
Well, there's 7 of them are Bailey's and 7 of them are Alyssa's.
We got little bitty bunnies. How sweet. It's a lot. Hello. Go. Hello. Hi. What's your name?
Harley. She says you have an apple for me.
No, I have a flower vase. That's all I have. Well, good luck. When do they show goats? Thursday?
Yes.
Very good. Well, I'm sure they'll do good. Looks like we're having a little pig practice over here. Pig show tonight, I guess. Quails. Somebody brought quails this year. That's cool. These are the poultry chain birds. They all look good. Look at them. How pretty they look. Cochins and silky. I'm smelling that fair food. Oh, there's a turkin, neck and neck. Yay, my Favorells got a clean sweep today at the fair in the open poultry. That was exciting. Best cockerel, best pullet, and best young trio. So I was excited about that. So I was the only one up there for best in show and had an armload of birds. Anyway, so we're done with the open poultry show. So now all that's left to do is wait and see what the judges think of my crafting entries and my horticulture and my flower entries. Like I said, my flower entries and my horticulture entries. My horticulture entries were okay, but my flower entries were not very good. I think I tried to teach class this morning because I know I'm going to have to take off Monday to take the steers. And I probably just should not have done that. I probably should have just waited and cut my cut flower entries this morning. But in the interest of saving time, I did it yesterday and they were looking a little less than perfect. You enter them today until noon and then they actually judge them this afternoon. So there's a really quick turnaround time on them. Anyway, so that's where we're at. I was pretty pleased with that. Open actually went first. Usually in the past the Pee-wee has gone first. But Open actually went first today, so me and the gang here are headed to the house. I'm gonna stop and get a little bite of lunch because I'm starving. Didn't eat breakfast this morning and had just been running wide open since I got up at 5. So gonna stop and get something to eat and head on to the house and feed and water because that keeps on going on. Well, Miss Betsy and I went down to the school this morning, and then afterwards I said, hey, would you like to go to the fair with me to check to see how I did? And she said, sure, I'd love to do that. So I said, I'll buy lunch, so let's go see how I did. So we went down to the school and worked with the kids for a while, and Sasha came. But then we went up to the county fair, and we went in the horticulture building first, and I was very, very excited because all of my vegetables and my apples got first premium. So that was really exciting. I really did not expect that at all. And even my flowers did better than I thought they would. My beauty berry and my obedient plant and my basil and my collection of grasses all got a first premium. My coleus was a little worse for wear by the time I got it up there, and my my zinnia, they were both a little worse for the wear by the time I got them up there, so they only got a second premium. But I was totally satisfied. That was much better than I thought that I would do. And then we went into the craft building to see how I had done. And they, the way it's set up is they have like all the home extension groups around the outside, and then they have the different, like their displays, their educational displays around the outside, and then they have the different areas. So I was really pleased with my crafting entries. Hang on, I'm trying to open the gate for the donkeys and the ponies to get out here. I was really pleased. For the most part, I got first premiums. I had a couple of seconds. I had washed my solar system blanket because it smelled like dog, and I guess I was a little heavy-handed with the fabric softener. So they commented on its strong fabric softener smell, and I'm like, well, it beats a strong dog smell. So, but anyway, so I got a second on that, and it didn't lay flat, which, you know, I knew that was, I probably should have stretched it and blocked it. Instead of just washing it and folding it up. My Kelvin Monster pouch, they wanted a handle on it, which I totally understand that. My little basket didn't do very good, but I didn't figure that it would. But I got first premium on all my knitted stuff and everything else in the crochet area. I got first premium on. I got first premium on my jewelry, and I got first premium on my oven mitts, second premium on my little pillow because you could see the stitching, but I got a first premium in my sewing, so I was happy with that. And then my baskets got first premium. But here's the exciting thing. As soon as I walked in, they put the best in show entries up front, and I saw my Knitwit basket, and I like squealed and was like, oh my God, I got a first premium on my Knitwit, yay. So the lady, the superintendent, was sitting there, and she was complimenting me on it, and they said they really, really liked it. And then I was in the back, and y'all are gonna laugh when you hear this. I'm like, wait a minute, one of my shawls is not here. I got a best in show on that impressionist shawl, y'all. As much as I cussed that thing and fussed at it, I got a best in show for that impressionist shawl. And there were several ladies up there that were really sweet and complimentary about it. I was so freaking tickled. I cannot believe I got 2 best in shows, y'all. I can't believe it. I mean, this is just the best fair I've done that I've had. You know, it feels good to finally feel like I've accomplished myself as a knitter, you know. So I was really tickled. I sent Sasha a message as soon as I saw that I had gotten the best in show for that basket and everything. So I was just so tickled. I could not freaking believe it, to be honest. I was just shocked. But anyway, so yeah, so that pretty much is the end of the fair for me. We went by and looked at the cattle. One of my friend's daughters was getting ready to show her bottle calf today, so we went by and looked at the cattle, and then went and had lunch. We got to pick our stuff up Sunday. I can go pick up my handicrafts, which I'll probably do that instead of waiting until Monday. And then Monday, I can go pick up my horticulture stuff, and I do want to go get it because I want my vases back. I reuse my vases every year, so I want to go back and get those, and so go get that stuff, and then and get my gourd and stuff back, so because I'll dry that gourd and use it next year. So but anyway, so yay. I'm really tickled about that. So yeah, so I guess that kind of concludes the fair for me. I'm going to put this together with some of the pictures and the video that I took and call it a shorty video. It may not be all that short, but so that's County Fair week and time to start getting ready for next year. You know, I'm sure the stuff that I'm working on right now with the marine life, crochet along, will end up in the fair, I bet. And the shawl, the mystery knit along shawl, since it's going to be rather intricate, I'm sure it'll end up in the fair next year. You know, anyway, I guess I'm just a great big kid. I never got to do this when I was a kid, so now I get to do it as an adult, and I really am tickled. I'm pleased that the County Fair Board lets people show and open classes for the livestock. They don't have to do that, but I'm pleased that they do, because it means a lot to get to be able to do that. Man, I can't believe the success I've had this year. It makes me feel so good to know that this hard work pays off, and that I'm headed in the right direction. So anyway, I'm home, And I got to go to the feed store as usual. So until I talk to y'all again, I'll record a regular episode next week. But until I talk to y'all again, y'all be good to each other and take care of each other. And peace out, y'all. Bye.